Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Gate 102 podcast. Hope you're all doing well and have had a good week. You'll be pleased to know I'm feeling a lot better than last week. So yeah, hopefully my voice will be a bit more back to normal this week. Today I'll be talking about the time England beat Slovenia 1-0 at Wembley in a World Cup qualifying game back in October 2017. All thanks to a late goal from Harry Kane. Yeah, this was the win that saw England secure qualification for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. And I'll start, as I always start, by going through the starting lineup. So it's Joe Hart starting in goal once again. A back four of Kyle Walker, Gary Cahill, John Stones and Ryan Bertrand. It was then a threesome in midfield of Eric Dyer, Jordan Henderson and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And then a front three of Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford. This was actually the first time Rashford and Sterling had played together under Southgate. Obviously we saw a lot of that in future games, but it actually surprised me, to be honest, that it took him 11 games to play them together. I'd have thought he'd have done that a bit sooner. But yeah, this was the first time they played together. It was a strange game, to be honest, because obviously the players knew going into the game that if they win, they qualify. But for large parts of the game, it seemed as though they got a bit impatient and the pressure almost got to them a bit. The fans got frustrated and it can play into the players. But I must admit, much to my surprise, Slovenia came out the blocks very quickly. They caused Joe Hart to come off his line a few times. They could have actually had a penalty early on, I seem to remember. It wasn't given, but yeah, it's a bit of a shaky start from England. And I'd say that's been the theme of all the qualifying games I've talked about, really. England tend to do better as the game goes on. I mean, you look at the Malta game, the 4-0 win, all 4 goals were in the second half. The Scotland game, it was a bad first half, but then England scored 2 in the second half. I mean, still conceded 2, but yes, it was a theme that England did better in the second half of games compared to the first, and this is the case again. But having said that, England did have chances to score in the first half. Henderson and Rashford both having shots which were well saved by the Slovenia goalkeeper. But yeah, it just wasn't to be in the first half. England going into the break at 0-0. However, as I said before, one of the best chances England had was at the start of the second half. It was a counter-attack and Rashford was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and you're pretty certain he's going to score, and instead of putting it past the goalkeeper, he decides to dink it, and he just fell into... It was a pretty awful shot from Rashford, and this was really frustrating, and I think if England didn't go on to win the game, we'd look back at that chance and think what a waste that was. So yeah, disappointed. Disappointment in terms of Rashford from his standards. He should have scored that, and you felt as though the goal was coming. Not long after that, Sterling had one cleared off the line, which he probably should have scored. Kane again had a shot which, on another day, he probably scores. And I think the fans were getting a bit frustrated, a bit agitated, and it was just frustrating to see. It was definitely better from England. They were definitely playing better in the second half after a pretty poor start, but just needed a goal. But I mean, they left it late, but thankfully they got the job done. Harry Kane sticking his foot out, meeting a Kyle Walker cross from the right, and that gave England the lead. I seem to remember the ball went over the line really slowly, as the goalkeeper did get a touch to it, but it was enough contact on the ball from Kane to get the goal and give the England fans something to cheer about. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it was job done for Gareth Southgate, and not just in this game, but for the whole qualification campaign. I think Southgate did a brilliant job in steadying the ship from the disappointment of Euro 2016, and then obviously following that, the Sam Allardyce situation. I think he did well to just almost stop the rot, and the football wasn't great. And if you've listened to all my episodes so far, you'll know that I've rarely said that England have played out the skin or anything like that, but for me, he couldn't have done any more really. And it was job done, mission accomplished, and England had qualified for the 2018 World Cup. I think I said it last week, but really looking forward to start talking about those games in a few weeks' time. I think I've got another World Cup qualifier, and then I've got I think 6 friendlies, and then the tournament starts. So yeah, looking forward to talk about the World Cup. Now, before I finish, if you've been following us on social media, then you'll have noticed that I said that I'd announce that I've got a Christmas special lined up. It's nothing to do with Christmas, but I thought Christmas would be a good time to do it. So I've decided to do a Sam Allardyce special where I talk about his 67 days in charge of England. So that'll be a good laugh. And the structure of it probably won't be like these episodes. It won't be as factual, might be a bit more comical. I'll also talk about my thoughts on Big Sam and how I actually thought it was a blessing in disguise that he resigned for the long term. So that'll be out around Christmas time. And I thought it would just be something different, really, because I must admit I do get bored of doing these episodes. I do like to throw in the odd different one every now and then. So yeah, looking forward to that. So lots of exciting episodes coming up. Another reminder that you can follow us on all the socials, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can also email us now at gate102pod@hotmail.com. So feel free to get in touch. That just leaves me to say a massive thanks for listening. Next week, I'll be talking about England's final World Cup qualifier away at Lithuania. So do give that a listen when it comes out. Right, until next time, take care. I'll see you soon.